You guys know what the sad reality is? About 70 to 80% of the people, they're all living paycheck to paycheck. So about 70 to 80% of them. And the reason for that is, let's see if the weigh station is open, but let's see if we get a green light, or while you are making good money, so later down the road, you don't have to go out there and continue working when you are getting close to your old age. Going to Indiana, 210 miles, and they have it posted for $1,500. I'm not gonna get a bigger house just because my income has increased, and I'm not gonna go out there and inflate my lifestyle in general, right? Good morning, guys. Welcome back to another video. Just arrived at the shipper, about to head into door number S and check in. They don't seem that busy, so I'm hoping they do end up loading me quickly. My appointment was at 8 o'clock and I got here just on time. So yeah, let's go in and give them the pickup numbers.
I'm gonna have you back up to door 33.
Okay. And then once I'm good to go, I don't have to come back in?
Nope, because
Okay.
you already have your copy.
Okay. All right, just checked in. And for those who are not in this industry, that's just how simple the check-in process is. And door 33 is right there. Let me zoom in. Right there. It's going to be between two trucks. I mean, there's enough space, so I shouldn't have that hard of a time. So let's get back to the truck, back in. But like I was saying, guys, if you're not in this industry, I know so many people get scared about the check-in process. It's pretty simple. You go in, you give them the pickup number, they'll tell you which door to back into, and then you back in. Very, very simple. And yeah, let's get back in the truck. First, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open the doors, and then we'll back in. All right, guys, just backed in, and shout out to this guy for getting out of his truck and spotting me. He didn't have to do that, but it's very nice of him to get out of his truck, helping me back, because there's not really that much space up front, and also there was a truck on this side and him on this side. So again, if you're new to the industry, just always ask for help if you're having a tough time backing in, or you can get out and look as many times, because it's way better than hitting someone else's trailer, someone else's truck, because that's going to end up going on your record. And if there's an accident on your record, what's going to happen is when you do start your own company, it's going to be very tough for you to get insurance, and then it's just not going to be profitable. So you always want to be careful now. And I know so many of you guys are company drivers. So many of you are looking to get into this industry. So I just wanted to give my 2 cents, just let you guys know that just be very careful when backing these big trucks, because one little mistake is going to end up ruining your future and potential money you could be making a couple years down the road. So yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
They were pretty quick to get me loaded. I think it took like 10 minutes. But a little bit about this load. I got this one booked this morning. So I did this exact same load, but it was picking up at a different warehouse. It's going to the same location. The broker called me up. He said, you did this load with us last week. Do you still have a truck available? Going to Indiana. I was like, yes, I do. And we ended up getting it booked. $1,400 for 217 miles. It's going straight through. So right now, it's saying the ETA, I'm going to get there by like 1 something or 2 o'clock. But my appointment is at 3 p.m. So I should be fine getting there. I'm already unloaded. And that's why I always tell you guys, man, always try to build good relations with the broker. Try to network and build connections because it really does come in handy. The broker ended up calling me. He gave me a load, $1,400, 217 miles, a little bit less than $7 a mile, but it's a really, really good load, only like 10,000 pounds and already loaded. So let's pull up and put some straps on it if it needs to, and then start making our way towards the receiver. Look at this, 217 miles, 4-hour drive. Shout out to this warehouse for already putting the strap on it, man. So makes it easy for me. All right, so this load I just picked up, on the load board they have the same exact load posted by Hub Group going to Indiana, 210 miles, and they have it posted for $1,500, which is like 3 minutes ago, which is a lot of money. And 15-day market is saying $1,000. I got this one booked for $1,400. So if I would have waited, let's say another hour or two, I probably would have got this same exact load booked for like $1,600, $1,700, going only 200 miles. So whoever's gonna book this one that's posted right now is gonna make extra probably $200-300 compared to what I'm gonna make when I get this delivered, man. So good for him. That's what I tell you guys, man. Always just have low expenses, pay off your equipment, because the less expenses you have, the more leverage you get when it comes to negotiating with these brokers. But right now we're about to head towards Chicago, get on the highway, and then we'll go to Indiana and get this thing delivered. Hopefully there's not too much traffic, because Chicago, man, there's always something going on. Let's see if the weigh station is open. I'm only like 8,000 pounds, so it's not something I'm worried about. I'm not overweight. But let's see if we get a green light, or let's see if they're open. Got the green light, man. Let's keep driving. I think the last time I got pulled into a base station has to be like 2 months ago. I'm always getting the green light because most of the time, first of all, I already have my inspection done, level 1, which I passed, so maybe that helps. And the weight of my cargo that I pick up is usually always around 5,000 to 15 to 20,000 pounds. I don't really take heavy loads. Why put on extra wear and tear on the truck? And plus, why waste money on fuel when low paying, like less weight loads pay the same as loads that are heavy? So there's really no point in taking heavy loads, and that's why this load is like 8,000 pounds. Got the green light, and let's keep driving. Oh man, looks like there might be traffic building up ahead. The ETA is saying 1:29. My appointment is at 3, so don't want to get there late. They're pretty strict. Let's try to see if anyone gives us some room to switch lanes. Shout out to the guy in the Jeep. You guys know what the sad reality is? About 70 to 80% of the people, they're all living paycheck to paycheck. So about 70 to 80% of them. And the reason for that is they're inflating their lifestyle. So it has nothing to do with income. There's people out there, according to studies as well, that make $1,000 a week. They're still living paycheck to paycheck. And there's also people making $4,000 a week after all expenses, still living paycheck to paycheck. So I think where a lot of truckers go wrong is, regardless of income, every time they get a pay boost, they end up inflating their lifestyle. So if someone is going from $1,000 a week after all expenses, and then he gets a pay raise, he goes to $2,000 a week. So what ends up happening is they're making $2,000, but at the end of the week, they're still saving the same amount of money. And sometimes they're not even saving anything, right? So let me give you guys an example. When I was getting in this trucking industry, so when I was training with a company, my trainer, he was working at that company, was training, right? And he was telling me how he goes out every month to a different country for travel on his week off, and then he rents like Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and stuff like that. And at that moment, I was like, what's the point of that? You can go out there, enjoy 1 week, 2 weeks of vacation, and just spend all your money, and then the third week you're right back to work, and you got to keep going in that same cycle. That means that person is stuck in a rat race. He will make that money, he will spend it to basically convince himself that he's making a lot of money rather than investing. And what ends up happening is he's going to keep doing the same thing. The cycle is going to keep going. And then one day when he does lose that job, he's not going to be able to live a normal life. And my advice is how you separate yourself from majority of the people that are living paycheck to paycheck is, first of all, you have to understand what an asset is and what a liability is. Liabilities don't give you return on your money. And I understand some people want to go out there, they want to buy their dream car, they want to enjoy life at the same time, and that's completely okay, right? But you also have to understand that where you need to invest your money while you are making good money, so later down the road, you don't have to go out there and continue working when you are getting close to your old age. And you have to think about that now, because at the end of the day, if you don't think now, you're going to end up regretting later down the road. And that's what majority of the people do. They have a lot of regrets. So just set yourself up in a position where you are good in the future. But right now, I'm about 70 miles away. Let's keep driving. All right, guys, the receiver should be right around the corner. But one thing I want to add is, before I got in this trucking industry, so before I started my own company, I was going to college full time, learning how to become a front end web developer. And I was also driving for Uber and Lyft full time. So whatever money I was making was pretty much just covering my expenses while I was going to college. And then after I got my associate degree, I found a job that was paying me $4,000 a month. And I started learning about investing. I started learning about personal finance. I started learning how compound interest works. started learning about index funds. And in that moment, I realized if I keep making $4,000, $5,000, or even $6,000 a month, I'm pretty much gonna get myself nowhere. So I needed a career which was very high paying, because like I'm a workaholic. I can sit there, work, and just not inflate my lifestyle. So I found out that trucking was one of those industries where I can go from a company driver to starting my own company, and that's exactly what I did. So I worked as a company driver for 2 years, saved close to $60,000, started my own company, and then it took me almost 2 years, a little bit less than that, to pay off my truck and trailer. And now I have my equipment paid off. My expenses are exactly still the same as they were when I was going to college full time, when I was working as an Uber driver. Now what I do is I just cover the mortgage. So where I live, I pay close to almost $3,000. Not 3,000, I think it's like $2,600 I pay, and then a little bit on top of that for the insurance. But my expenses are exactly the same they've been for many, many years, and going forward many, many years, they're still going to stay the same. I'm not going to get a new car just because my income has increased. I'm not going to get a bigger house just because my income has increased, and I'm not going to go out there and inflate my lifestyle in general, right? But the receiver is right here to my left, and that's why this trucking industry is helping me so much when it comes to achieving financial freedom, financial independence, and hopefully these videos do help people out, open up their eyes into realizing that once you do get a high paying job, you can secure your future rather than just trying to live in the moment and just get really expensive cars, bigger homes, which are not going to give you return on your money. So always think about your future. And yeah, I'm gonna stop here, go check in, guys. You need my ID?
Yeah.
Three.
Three?
Three, please.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Gin three.
All right, guys, just checked in. She gave me door number 3 to back into, but first let me go open the doors.
Gas like Marjorie. I ride with the mob just like my good friend. God protect me, I was born a sinner. I can lose it all, but I was born a winner. Yeah, down with them all. I've been gassing and ducking the law, and I never wanna sing with y'all. I'd rather get it with me and my dogs. And I know that they want us to fall, but they don't even know us at all. I don't want no fake love, 'cause you know I can't trust them. I'm trying to do better.
All right, just backed in. It was a little challenging because the truck next to me, he's not fully, I don't know if you guys can see, but hold on. He's not fully backed in, so he's pulled up. I don't know why he didn't move out of the spot, but because of that, I had to look how tight the spot is because there's trailers up front. And because of this truck not being fully backed in, I had to be super close to those trailers. But yeah, man, hopefully they do get me unloaded quickly, because the faster they get me unloaded, I can look for another load. Hopefully you guys like watching this video. If you did, hit the subscribe button, like the video, and if you guys have any questions, like I tell you guys all the time, follow me on Instagram, send me a DM of all the questions you have, and then when I do get time, I'll do reply to you. And look, he's moving now after I backed in. If you would have done that, man, my back end would have been way more easier, but it is what it is. Can't complain. Life is good, man. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.